messing around. I'm not playing any games. I got the guy himself. Look who it is. Jaden Isler, head coach of the boys team in Clovis. You're known for all your state titles, man. Elida. You took over Clovis, a team you played with and were so dominant with back in your day. Let me ask you something before we get into balling and stuff. You and I always go at it. Everyone always talks about it. Who's the better dressed? Now, right now, you're better dressed than me. But like when we get into the court on the court, I'm set for TV. You're set for coaching for a W, and you're snazzy, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like you can hold some threads up pretty good.
I don't know, buddy. I think you got me in my lighter days. I was trying to keep up. I didn't have a tailor then. I mean, I had to.
Not have a tailor. That's 101.
I mean, dude, I had to go to my guy Paul Tankersley in town, the best suit guy around here. I went in. I had to say, hey, you got to make me look better than Adam. That's all I ask. Look better than Adam. He's killing me on all my interviews.
You know, it's all about the jacket, man. You know, you gotta have the pizzazz. But you know, I noticed, you know, every time I saw you, your game stepped up a little bit more. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous, bro. I will tell you this. From the moment you took over Clovis, the boys program, and I'm not trying to dog anybody else, but that program had died off a little bit for like 3 years, okay? And I thought immediately when you took over, it was instant energy. It was instant. You could tell the team were more cohesive. They played harder. All your boys, they respect you and respond to you. You could just tell, like, you know, all the games that I do basketball wise, I could tell right away when a coach has control of his team and they have his respect. And you did immediately. Like, what was it that when you stepped into Clovis that these boys started to respect you, started to believe in your system and your ways?
You know what? We had a couple of things going for us, Adam. You know, obviously the state titles in Elida, I mean, we won 4 in a row before I got to Clovis. So obviously that stuff helps getting, you know, some respect. Yeah. You know, we had a great run in Elida, and I mean, I had great girls, amazing players, but you know what, going into the Clovis job, that gives you some credibility. I mean, it's like that at every level. I mean, if you've won the big game, you've won the big game. And to do it 4 times, which I will give all the credit to my girls always. But to do that 4 times and then to come into a job, it gives you some instant credibility just to say, hey, this guy's done it. He's been to the highest level. You know, he's won that big game. So that helped a lot. The second thing was is bringing in a great staff. And I got Corey Pickett, who had been a longtime Clovis guy. He had worked for my dad when my dad was in Clovis. So that was great to have him there. And I got him on board right away. He was the first guy I called. And then to get Logan Turnbow, who's our JV coach now, he was with me. I hired him at Elida as when I was the AD to be our boys coach. And he took that boys program from their first time having a varsity team in like 4 years. And he had taken them to 2 playoffs in 4 years. And so, you know, to get a good staff around you to do that. And then obviously with me being a player here, you know, that excitement back to the fans, and the fans are a huge part of it. I mean, we won huge games in Clovis. We beat La Cueva in overtime by 1. Huge wins, but the crowd is a big part of that. And to get the crowd there,
like you brought that back though, right? I mean, the energy, not just you, but everybody. You're, like you said, your staff, your players, you know, it's so big because Clovis has such a huge home field advantage. If you go play football, like everyone knows, not just the traveling, but the crowd can be so intimidating if you actually bring them in. But you got to bring them in. Ain't nobody coming when you're losing for 3 years, but you kind of brought that back, and that is so big for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing at Clovis. You know what? Clovis is a tough coaching town, man. I mean, people are not going to respond to losing, and
Not there,
you
man.
get you get the energy, and a lot of that goes to my dad. I've got to give my dad a lot of credit for, he was the coach here for 11 years. I don't think there was any year they didn't go to the playoffs. They were. I mean, had multiple 21 seasons. Obviously, my senior year, we played in the finals. That's the first time in a long time we've been to the finals. But all the hype is great. But guess what? I mean, if Jaden Isler doesn't do well on the floor, guess what? The fans aren't coming. If I'm not coaching them right, if the kids aren't playing hard, it just is what it is. And that's what I love about Clovis is there's some tough expectations. But if
that's a good thing, though, right? Because there ain't no expectation that they could give you that you don't already have for yourself. Am I right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. I mean, and we hold our kids to a standard of, hey, we're a one high school town. That's something at a 5A level that doesn't happen in very many places.
Yeah.
This is, we play for our community, and I promised the fans we have a bash every year to start the year off, and I promised them, win or lose, no matter what, that our kids would play harder than anyone else. We may not always be as talented, we may not always win every game, but our kids would give them some effort that they would be proud of every night.
You almost pulled off, I guess you could call it an upset. Like, obviously, when you play William Benjamin and his Bulldogs in the pit, you've already made it far because he had so much success lately. He's been probably him and Adrian Ortega have probably been the most successful. Actually, they've been statistically the most successful head coaches in big school basketball in the last decade. So you guys almost pulled it off. I look at the matchup, right? It's like I think you're the 8 seed and they're the 1 seed, and you almost pull it off. Had that game maybe even won at times. Do you ever go back and look at that game in that quarterfinal and be like, oh my God, like we had this game? It's always tough to lose those tight ones.
Yeah, you know what? We have. I mean, I knew we got up by 5 pretty early in the fourth quarter, and at that point, I thought, hey, we've got a real shot to pull it off, and we had a couple of turnovers in a row that made it tight again. But I mean, still, we get 2 looks underneath the rim with one of our best players, Roe Morgan. He gets 2 tips at a ball that puts us up 1 with 30 seconds left.
Right.
Still, I mean, we've got a real chance that we're going to win that game, and some stuff didn't go our way, and that's sports, that's life. That's something our kids about after the game is, there's going to be adversity, there's going to be setbacks at times, but for our kids in year 1 to get to the playoffs for the first time in a long time and win 20 games, win the district, and then year 2 take it a step further, get into the pit. That's a big deal for our program. None of our kids have been to the pit. They've never even been to the playoffs. So for their first experience in the pit, to play the 1 seed, to battle them down to the wire, for us to take a 3 at the buzzer, to send it to overtime. I mean, what other spot do you want to be in? I mean, that's the spot you want to put your kids in all the time. So,
dude, it was fun to watch you this last year. I mean, your team, and you had so many rough games and overtime games and crazy. I mean, you just had so many crazy games come down to the wire. That was one of the best games of the pit by far too. And there was that 6A game. Now I look at it and what's the stepping stones now? Do you feel like now you've gotten a taste in the pit that this program is ready to even take the next step, or is it just, I mean, what are you looking at right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Pickett, my head assistant, says it best. He told our kids in year 1 and year 2. He said he was on the staff the last time Clovis had been to the state championship, which was 2013, and they got beat by Cruces High in the finals that year. But he tells our kids all the time, once you get there, you'll be addicted. I mean, once you get there, you don't understand until you get to the pit and you feel what it's like to be there. You understand how to handle the emotions. I mean, it's hard for kids that have never been there to succeed right away. But it was a huge stepping stone for us to be in the pit, play the number 1 seed, play it down to the wire. Nobody else. I mean, I think they won the semis by 15 or 20 and the finals by 15 or 20. I mean,
I mean, you had the best crack at them for sure.
Right. I mean, you can compete in the state now. So it was a huge step for our program. Obviously, we lose 8 seniors. That's a lot of minutes to lose. A lot of good kids. We had some great kids, but it gave the sophomores and the juniors, now they know, hey, we've been in it, we've seen it, we know what it's like. They can handle that situation. Hopefully we'll be there again.
I love it. I was messing around on Twitter, and I knew I had seen a high school team do it. And so I thought maybe it was Coach Brown. I should have thought better. Coach Brown can't be that creative. So I should have known it was you, Jaden. And it's an inbound play, and maybe we'll throw a highlight on it or not. But there's an inbound play where everybody is on the baseline, basically out of bounds, and I didn't even know it was legal. And so, why don't you go ahead and explain it?
You know what? It's crazy. Actually, one of our football coaches, our defensive coordinator, Drew Hatley. So Drew Hatley and me are looking at we're looking at this film from a college team. It's a college team that's not they're not a Power 5 team, but he shows me this clip a couple years ago, and I said, you know what? I think we could do some stuff. So I get with Cal and Coach Fullerton and Drew, and we decide, hey, we need to line up some formation. I said, hey, how are people going to face guard press you? Obviously, we play in a district with
it's so good.
Yeah, hey, they can't press you if you're all out of bounds. And so, we came up with some formations. The football coaches were big. We had some fun with it.
Does everybody have like a route? Like you're running a route almost?
Oh, absolutely. We run it.
If you haven't seen it, it's like there's a quarterback and 4 other players are running a route, basically.
We absolutely do. We ran it just like football plays. I told Coach Cal and Coach Jaden, hey, let's give me some design plays. I said, put us in some formations. So we talked about it. We had some fun with it. But, yeah, we get in 3 or 4 formations. We got 3 or 4 plays out of it. But late game situations when people are pressing you, we run football routes here.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. It's fun. It's creative. It's fun, too. The kids get into it, I'm sure,
Oh yeah,
switch it up a little bit, and it's good stuff. Lastly, like if we got on the court right now, what would happen? Like, can you still cross up? Can you still pull up that 3-pointer of yours? What could happen over there, buddy?
Hey, you know what? You don't ever lose the shot much, but if we have to go up and down one time, I'm beat. I do play my kids. They always want to play one-on-one. They always want to do that, and I play them in shooting games. But I'm getting older. I don't have the lungs anymore to be going at them for long periods of time. But you know what? The shot doesn't never leave. You always got the touch. So you know what? Make it fun. We play some games with the kids.
That's what I want to hear, man. I appreciate you coming on with me. Best of luck, dude. I hope we could get some high school sports going here, brother.
Oh, absolutely, man. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your coverage back when I was just a nobody.
No, that's not true. Never nobody, brother. Jaden Nisler, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man.